It's Monday, April 27th, 2015, and let's talk about what happened this weekend over at xdadevelopers.com. First up, quick deal alert. Elephone has announced their new device, the P7000, can be reserved for $159.99 right now, and if you have a reservation, you can order one of them in one of these 4 days in May. Spec-wise, it looks pretty decent. Octa-core processor, 3 gigs of RAM, 3,450 mAh battery, full HD display, and a Sony sensor for $160. It's really not all that bad. Unfortunately, I don't think it's actually going to support 4G here in the States, so I'm not going to be jumping on it, but if you're in a place where they do support 4G for it, it might be worth taking a look at for that price. Next up, a story I found fascinating. Scientists at the Pacific Northwest National Lab have put together a small plastic clip that you can put a glass bead in, clip it to your smartphone or your tablet, and effectively have a microscope. With different beads, you can go from 100x magnification to 350 to 1000, which is just ridiculous. Now, one of the main reasons that this all came about was it allows people that are first responders, people that show up at the scenes of crimes or accidents first. They can take a substance, they can take a blood sample or something, they can take a picture of it as if it were under a microscope, send it to somebody across the country to examine it off-site, and that way they can get detailed answers on what's going on with whatever situation they're in immediately. But the same sort of implications for school kids and for people that are just general enthusiasts. It's amazing. But the really cool thing about all this, it's 3D printable. All you have to do is get the glass bead and add it to it. The glass beads you do have to order online, you can't just pick them up at a local hardware store or anything. However, I did download all the STL files for them, and I printed out one of the little clips earlier, as you can see from the clip that I'm showing you right now. Unfortunately, I don't have a bead to put in it yet, but in under an hour I was able to get one of these little things in hand, which I think is just awesome. I'm actually going to be doing more 3D printing stuff over on my channel. If that's something that you're interested in, if you'd like to check that out, definitely go ahead and head on over to my channel. And when I do get some beads in for this thing, I might do a follow-up video over there just showing the kind of things you could do with something like this. And speaking of stuff that's over on my channel, I actually just uploaded a video going over the OK1 Plus feature we talked about before, if you guys are interested in seeing that. But speaking of Cyanogen, they actually sparked a lot of people's curiosity this weekend when they posted a picture of some sort of a circuit board with a device sitting on top of it running an unofficial build of CM 5.1 with the hashtags top secret and early stages. You can head on over to their Google Plus post or their Instagram page to get a better look at all of it and try to decide what maybe is going on there. Now, in some sort of sad news, this weekend the 2013 Nexus 7 was discontinued on the Play Store. Definitely a bit sad to see it go, especially since now the number of devices on the Google Play Store is getting smaller and smaller, but it does make you sort of wonder if they're maybe building up to a new device release at Google I/O. Maybe a Nexus 7 2015 with a 4K display, a Tegra X1 processor, 4 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of built-in storage. Oh, sorry, just drooling a little bit there. Moving on to some stories from the forum. This weekend, the third alpha for Exposed 3 became available. It brings a few bug fixes along with it, but do make sure to read through the forum thread before you stick it on your device. The 2014 Verizon Moto X running KitKat 4.4.4 was rooted this weekend. This is another paid root. It's not a bounty or anything, and it's going to cost you $20 per phone to do it, and it only works on KitKat 4.4.4, so keep that in mind. But if you're running that device on that specific version of software and you desperately need root, I guess it's better than nothing. XDA senior member JYelly5 has put together an unofficial port of Android 5.1 from AOSP for the Nexus Q. The list of not working things on it is still a little bit long to use it as a daily driver, but it's definitely a start. And to wrap things up, a couple of stories from the portal. Mario wrote an article giving a load of background information on Cyanogen and their origins. And finally, another Sunday debate went up on the site asking for your thoughts on using a custom ROM versus just using modular tweaks on your device, or where you stand in the middle of all of that. So if you'd like to participate in that, head on over there. But you know what? That's going to be about all from me for today. You can find the links to all the stories that I talked about down in the video description as usual, as well as the links to my YouTube channels. Remember, if you like this video, please do leave us a like down below the video. We definitely appreciate it, and subscribe to receive all of our content as soon as it becomes available. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.